Hello and welcome everyone to the JILBOTICS Classroom platform. I am Olunlade Joshua, and today we are going to be taking buttons, digital input. Now, in the last couple of videos, we considered the concepts of LED. We treated how you can switch them off, how you can manipulate one or two LEDs. Today we are going to be taking buttons as digital input. For LED, we took them as digital output. Now, button is digital input. Functions we'll be using today are void setup, void loop, pin mode, digital read, digital write. You may not have seen this digital read function before, and that is the main thing we'll be using today. Digital read function is the one that allows us to read in the value of the button pin. Digital read function. It is used to know the state of a pin. You can see that it takes only one parameter, which is the pin or the pin that we have connected our button to. So now, the state that it gives back could be either high or low, which could be either 1 or 0. So I want you to understand something here. In Arduino, when you type in I, all caps, you will see that it highlights it. Yes, that is because the compiler recognizes high as one of its standard variables. So I means 1 for Arduino and low is recognized as 0. I is recognized as 1 on the Arduino and low is recognized as 0. So when your digital read gives back a value to your Arduino, it will either give you 1 or 0. That is the button connected to 5 volt or 0 volt? That is the button pressed or not? When your button is pressed, depending on your connection, it will be connected to 5 volt, and when it is released, it will not be connected to 5 volt. So for example, when you are reading in the value, you use it something like this: digital read into bracket button pin. It helps you to know the state of your button pin. That is how you write the code. Now, how to program your button, or how to program your Arduino to use your button with it. It's quite simple. The first step is to declare a variable and assign it the number of the corresponding pin. Something like this: integer, my button is equal to 11. We know by now that this 11 is the pin, is the digital pin that we are attaching our button in real life to on the Arduino. So we have assigned it a variable, my button. Then the next thing is to declare a variable for the button state and set it to 0. Button state is equal to 0, which is also an integer. Now, why is this important? This is important because, like, when you read in the value with digital read of my button, you will have to store it somewhere. So we are storing it inside button state. That means that button state is actually the variable we use in our if else statement to do anything. So we'll be like, if button state is equal to 0, then do this, else do this. You get? Then the next thing is to initialize the pin by setting the pin mode with the pin mode function. So in previous lessons, when we're using the LED, we set the pin mode of my LED to output. Today we are using buttons and we are receiving input into our Arduino with the button. So we'll set my button to input mode. The next thing is to read the state of my button and store it in button state. So this digital read function, we write it like this: button state is equal to digital read into bracket my button. And what this does is that it stores the value or the state of my button pin. It takes that state, which is either 0 or 1, and stores it in the button state variable so that we can easily use it. And the next step will be to use the value of button state to do something, to do anything. You can do anything you can dream of with this. So let us see, what do we need to achieve this? the parts we will need an LED, a button, a 220 ohms resistor for our LED, then a 10k ohms resistor for our button, and then an Arduino Uno, a breadboard, and a few jumper wires. The connection diagram now. You can see that we have connected the LED normally, and then the way we connected our button is like this. You can see that one end of our button is connected to to a resistor which connects it to ground. This is to bring down the value of the button to ground anytime it is not pressed. Then the other end, which is also connected straight like this, is connected to the yellow wire, which is our digital pin 11. Then the LED is connected normally. The other end of our button is connected to 5 volts, as we can see. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how you can use your button with Arduino, like how to program it, how to read in the value, how to do all that. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please do ask on the JILBOTIcs Classroom platform. Bye for now.